Good morning. My name is Marco Pignataro. I'm the managing director of the Berklee Global Jazz Institute, and it's a pleasure to welcome you on the first day of the Culminating experience presentations. I would like to address gratitude to people that have been working hard all year, and also to put together this event. First of all, our artistic director, Danilo Perez, our Dean of the Graduate Study, Rob Lango, Mary McClory, and our amazing fellow, Chloe Brisson. And I also want to remind you that the student will have a final concert on Wednesday night. You're all invited at the Davy Friend Recital. For our first presentation, I'm really happy to introduce Malwina Masternak. Malwina Masternak is a jazz and contemporary vocalist and composer from Poland. She received her bachelor degree from the University of Marie Curie Sklodowska, sorry for the pronunciation, in Poland, and diploma from Berklee. She was at the Berklee Global Jazz Institute before the master for 4 years, so she, among this group, the one with the longest residency in our program. We're very proud of her. She has performed across the US, Canada, China, Europe, and South America. With a deep passion for teaching and mentoring, she is one of the leaders of the Women in Jazz Collective Club, an organization promoting and encouraging female composers and performers. Malwina organizes voice workshop in Poland for underprivileged children and others who don't have access to quality education and resources. In 2017, in recognition of her community work, she was awarded the Person of the Year prize by the Polish newspaper Echo Dnia. Committee member, I'm very happy to welcome Aubrey Johnson from the vocal department at Berklee. And here we have a big round of applause for Malwina Masternak. Malwina, we will tell you 5 minutes from the end, and 20 minutes will finish the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marco, for the introduction. As a child growing up in Poland, I only received music education for 2 years during elementary school. It wasn't until my mom sought private instruction for me outside of school that I was able to study with a musically trained teacher. At that point, I realized how much work I would have to do to catch up and how much I wished I had had musical training earlier in my life. Quality music education is still not offered to most students in Polish public schools due to this lack of education and to the prevalence of modern pop music. Traditional Polish melodies are being forgotten, and other musical genres, including jazz, are seldom taught or discussed. My final project, TŁCZA NUT, which is Polish for Rainbow of Notes, an interconnective approach to early music education through jazz in Poland, is an educational initiative directed for Polish kids ages 6 to 8. The goal of the project is to teach through music, meaning using the music as a vehicle through which kids learn other subjects, geography, languages, ethics and values, mathematics. The process of creating this project has involved research on the influence of music in the development of childhood, selecting songs from Polish tradition, creating arrangements, writing lyrics with an educational perspective, and finally performing and recording the songs. By introducing children to the melodies of their country in a way that is informative, interesting, and reflective of the jazz aesthetic, they will not only be internalizing elements of their national culture, they will also be exposed to important intellectual and musical concepts that will help enrich their lives. So why learning through music? Incorporating music in education sparks a life-changing chain reaction in people that ranges from scientifically proven stimulation of our cognitive capacities to further development of social abilities and self-esteem. This inevitably leads to more empathic sensibilities, problem-solving capacities, and understanding of complex social issues, all of which ultimately make a positive change within ourselves and society. As Eric Booth states in his article, The Teaching Artist and the Artistry of Teaching, engaging kids in music is also effective for bringing to their attention other subjects and learning them in a combined manner, making it more fun, attractive, and connected to the student's experience. Leonard Bernstein also expressed his thought on the subject. Do you see, a known fact in isolation is like a dry, dead thing. But when those connections are made, wham, all those facts become fun to know instead of a drag. The most recent scientific studies suggest that music stimulates many different functions in our brain and serves as a gateway into understanding human cognition. This strong scientific evidence should lead to a new perception on the necessity to incorporate music intensively in the general curriculum work towards an interconnective approach. Every kid is capable of mastering and benefiting from music if provided with the necessary platform and stimulating environment. And why I chose traditional Polish songs? Poland has a very rich musical tradition, from renowned composers to local folkloric songs and dances. However, due to globalization and the influence and attraction that commercial music has on young people, a lot of our folklore, culture, and ancestral melodies are getting lost at an alarming rate. In my view, using these Polish traditional melodies brings back the songs from the past and presents them in an updated way, more connected to today's lifestyle and their interests. The curriculum of TŁCZA NUT can be presented in different lesson formats. My ideal format is 5-day workshop with the concert on the 6th day, but it can be also 5 weeks workshop series, 1 meeting per week, or it can be summer camp or Skype workshop, which actually I have already done with Polish children. Now I will present to you the original idea of 5 days workshop, which consists of 1 song per day, and each of the day is dedicated as the lesson objective and the series of learning outcome. First day, children will learn mathematics song. Song lyric lesson objectives for that day will be encouraging students to value the study of math and the benefits of learning basic calculations. Following the lessons, students will be able to identify dynamic and tempo changes. They will be able to improvise by creating sound effects with their voices, and they will be able to identify the instruments and role of a jazz rhythm section. And I want to play a little bit of the original melody. It was written in 1931 by Henryk Warski and Ludwik Starski.
Bajek jej się zachciało. Zagraj jej coś. No poluź się. Zaśnij.
W górze tyle gwiazd, w dole tyle miast.
Gwiazdy miastu dają znać, że dzieci muszą spać.
A śpi kochanie. Jeśli gwiazdki z nieba chcesz, dostaniesz.
Czego pragniesz, daj mi znać, ja ci...
And here's my version with lyrics I wrote about mathematics, and I put translation on the right side so everyone can understand what is the song about.
Królową nauk jest, mądrością zachwyca cię. To jest właśnie matematyka, z którą warto poznać się. Raz i dwa, wszystko nam w matematyce gra. Czy potęgi, czy sześciany, obwód, pole, czy podstawy, z nimi warto poznać się. Czy mnożenie, dodawanie i dzielenie i odejmowanie. 4 te działania trudne wcale nie są takie nudne, z nimi warto poznać się. Raz i dwa, wzory w jednym palcu.
And now we move on to the second day. On the second day, song lyrics lesson objective will be learning manners and social skills through music. Following the lesson, student will be able to recognize the concept of higher and lower pitches. They will be able to demonstrate a basic understanding of breathing, dynamics, and accuracy of pitch, and they will be able to identify the instrument that comprise a string quartet. And the traditional is entitled Tit Tit. It was written in 1948 by Tadeusz Sygietyński. I'm gonna play a little bit of the melody. And here's my version with lyrics about good manners.
Wszyscy magię słów w życiu swym znamy. Każdego dzionka mów, proszę, dziękuję. Powidzenia, dzień dobry. Przepraszam, także mów.
Okay, now we move on to the third day of the workshop. I just want to add that every kid participant of the workshop will have a little booklet with the Polish lyric and the lead sheet with the lyrics for the workshop. On the third day, the lesson objective will be developing national identity. Following the lesson, children will be able to distinguish head and chest voice and understand the difference between the two. Students will be able to identify the difference between 4/4 and 3/4 time signatures, and they will be able to demonstrate an understanding of Chopin's importance in Polish culture and music. Here's my lyric with my version of the tune.
Piękna nasza Polska cała, od Bałtyku po gór szczyty, zabytkami nas zachwyca. To jest kraj niesamowity, Polsko ojczyzno nasza, z flagą biało-czerwoną. Polsko z niejedną blizną, wiele krwi przelałaś. Stolicą państwa jest Warszawa, przez nią Wisła płynie, a w jej herbie jest syrena, z pięknej legendy słynie. Stolicą państwa jest Warszawa, przez nią Wisła płynie.
And we move on to the fourth day, the vowel song. On the fourth day, lesson objectives will be vowel recognition and learning about Polish traditional dance kujawiak. As for learning music outcomes, students will learn how to adjust their tempo, dynamic, level, tone, quality, and expression to match other members of the choir, and they will be able to dance kujawiak. And the original is Czerwone Jabłuszko. The song is based on a traditional dance kujawiak. It was played by street musicians in Warsaw during the Nazi occupation. And it was used as a song of warning to alert people in the underground to the presence of spies and collaborators.
Pokrojone na krzyż, czemu ty, żandarmie, krzywo na mnie patrzysz? Gęsi za wodą, kaczki za...
Okay, and here's my version.
Osiem samogłosek z alfabetu wyskoczyło i piękne kółeczko z liter tworzyło. Osiem
And I want to play a short video from the workshop I had with Polish kids in Poland singing the same song about vowels. On the fifth day of workshop, lesson objective will be learning the continents. Following the lesson, students will be able to create simple rhythm patterns. They will be able to move to music of various tempos, meters, and dynamics. They will use body percussion to demonstrate awareness of beat and tempo. Students will be able to clap or stamp specific rhythm patterns. And this is the lyric, and it's to Polish traditional song Prześniczka mixed with my original.
jedna ziemia, 7 lądów ma, każdy je zna.
Okay, future plans for the project. I consider this project a work in progress, originating from a vision I have for the future of education and the role of musicians in society. I plan to take this initiative to schools across Poland in the near future, as well as creating the framework for a new approach to music education in the country. I have some already confirmed workshops. One of them is in Polish radio in New York in July 2019. Then I have a series of workshops in Poland during the summer, and in October 2019 I have workshop in Polish embassy in Washington DC, which are going to be also connected with workshop for Kościuszko Foundation, also in Washington DC. In 2020 I hope to begin writing a music book for elementary school in Poland based on my additional research and my experience presenting this work. And finally, work in progress, my website. I'm still working on it. I think I'm out of time. So
Please clap. Please clap for Malwina Masternak. Malwina Masternak. Thank you.
can I just say one word? I just want to say thank you to everyone who helped me with this project, my wonderful band, my wonderful mom, boyfriend, Szymon Gamburg, Inigo Ruiz de Gordejuela. I know, I'm out of time. I shouldn't.
Malwina, now we are going to open the questions and comments for the panel. And actually, if you can talk about immediately, since you didn't mention the musician that played in your, if you can briefly tell who they were.
Yes, my wonderful band. Piano Chase Morin. Bass Grzegorz Włodarczyk. Drums Rosina Scampino. Violin 1 Leah Davis. Violin 2 Julia Connor. Viola Jessica Cooper. Cello Kelly Pinheiro. Clarinet Ye Huang. Flute Cristalis Sotomayor. Accordion Giorgio Albanese. And I want to thank to my amazing friend and conductor Martyna Włodarczyk for all the support. I'm going to start crying. Oh my God.
Not yet.
Thank you, Martyna.
I'm going to, let's start
and
with...
of course, sorry, producer Luke Norris. Thank you so much, Luke.
I would like to immediately pass the microphone to your committee member, Aubrey Johnson.
Hello. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That was a wonderful presentation. I'd like to say that I felt that your project was very personal, very unique, very creative. It's something that clearly is an issue in public schools, not even just in Poland, but in general. And it's a great thing that you identified that and that you decided that you want to do something about it. That's a beautiful humanitarian contribution as well as musical contribution. So that's wonderful. The quality of your material is great. The recordings are incredible. You sound beautiful. Your arrangements are creative and wonderful. And I think, allowing children to hear music like that when they otherwise wouldn't, that in of itself is a gift, So you're teaching them about many things on many different levels. You're thinking about how you want them to have excitement about learning different subjects and introducing that through music. And you're also teaching them basic musical concepts and some more advanced ones through jazz, and at the same time exposing them to great music. So I'm just really happy about this project. It's wonderful. Some of the things I actually didn't think of until today, just some things you can think of for the future of this project would be actually the keys of the songs, like when the children are going to perform them, which I'm not sure if you said that at the end. So like you're going to do the 5-day program and then you're going to have a performance, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So kids have higher vocal range than you do, actually. So, and they can't often sing like below the staff very well. So I might think about adjusting the keys for their performance. Like they can practice and listen to your recording, but also practice in the other key. That's better for their vocal range. That's just like maybe, you know, a side note. And other, trying to gather my thoughts quickly. Let's see. I would like to see, you have like the learning objectives and the learning outcomes. I'd like to see more of the objectives corresponding to the outcomes. I thought the objectives made a lot of sense with the song lyrics, but I'd like to see how like the objective was the goal and the outcome was the consequence of the lesson that you taught. That would be helpful for me. But I think that's the main stuff. I think you're going to learn a lot through the presentations that you have planned already, and you can adjust your program based on what you learn, what you've already talked to me about doing. So, yeah, I think those are all of my comments. So congratulations.
Thank you so
Great work. Yeah.
Thank you, Aubrey. Now I'll pass the microphone to Maestro Danilo Perez.
Malvina, congratulations. I just watched it through the internet. I was watching. It came out really well through the. And one of the things I wanted to get to, how was the experience at the Polish Cultural Center with the children? And was that bilingual?
Polish Cultural Center?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
For the kids, when you work in the five days program.
Oh, this is for the future.
For the future,
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it hasn't happened yet.
No.
Okay,
This
I
is
misunderstood
like the
that.
idea. Yes.
Is that this is the first time that you speak and sung in Polish during the year at the experience at the Global? Is that
In
the first time?
Global, I sang on some concert series, maybe once or twice, something in Polish.
Have you thought about bringing this to UNESCO?
No, I didn't.
Yes, I would recommend. As an artist for peace, I think this would be a project that will speak really loud to them. I want to make a parenthesis and say to tell you how proud I feel from observing your journey for many years, and to see the conclusion you have arrived right now. I feel proud, honored, and hopeful about what's going on in the world. And it's through works like this that really speaks to the character of your human condition and the fight that we have right now in society. And you have decided to use your talent and be responsible in the change that it takes for a positive direction in the world. So, yeah, no more words. Fantastic project.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Malvina, congratulations.
Thank you.
The presentation was brilliant, I felt, and really, really well put together. I worked for 5 years when I was younger in elementary school, and one of the things that, we discussed this in our advising class, one of the things that was a constant is that most of the material that is prepared and presented for the kids is musically very elementary. There's this idea that, music for children has to be very simple, pop-oriented. And most of the things I was coming across were in that range. Can you speak a little bit more about this area for you, using jazz to teach children, first of all, because I know this didn't really come up in the presentation, and also talk a little bit more about the interconnectivity of the project.
As I mentioned, as a kid, I didn't really have music education in the elementary school, and I really felt behind later on when I got music lesson with a trained teacher, and I know that it still didn't change in Poland. That children receive maybe 2 years out of 6 years in elementary school, they have music lessons. So that's why it's so important for me. And I have little brother, so I can observe and I see how his lessons look like. I talk with him, I talk with my mom. So I really want to do it because I really want to give back something for my country. And I think that, as you mentioned, children music doesn't have to be elementary. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to create. I want to expose kids to jazz. And I already saw doing some workshops in Poland that it works. I know that I still have to gain an experience, and things I wrote in the project, that are my plans now. But while I'm gaining experience, while I'm doing the workshops, these things can change, and I'm going to develop everything.
I don't know if you said it. Do you have plan to do this project in English as well?
Yes, exactly. So actually in the embassy in Washington, D.C., I will do this workshop for Polish kids who don't speak Polish. They speak English. So I'm going to write lyrics, new lyrics in English.
Malwina Masternak. Beautiful
Thank you very
job.
much.
Congratulations. Please stay with us for the next presenter.